Welcome. Oh, yeah, my camera's over here. I keep forgetting. Welcome to Doug TeNapel channel. Live Christmas celebration. Me and you. I can spend some time. Family gave me some time that I get to spend with you guys. And I see you guys coming in the chat already. So thanks for joining us. We're going to go over some of the in one way, this is a 1 month look back on what happened, what has happened and what has changed since Trump won. And it is significant, even though he's not in office yet. Not all good news. It just kind of exposes the left for what they've been doing recently, which is same old shenanigans. They're not going to get away with it this time, though, because now we have enough power and we have the will of the people on our side. There you are coming in. Everyone come in. Say hi if you're watching. Look at, I can click you guys up there. Merry Christmas, Doug. Hello from Pennsylvania. Okay, I'm seeing you guys all come in. East Coast, Australia. I see you guys. The best Christmas gift America got was on November 5th. We, as I say, we dodged a bullet. Am I right? We did dodge a bullet big time. Could have been very, very bad. Let me get, I'm going to show you, this is one of the stocking stuffers that I got. This is some kind of a nose hair, or no, I'm sorry, it's an eyebrow trimmer. I might have to try it. I'm almost afraid. I don't want to. I guess you can comb it and then, because you get to be my age and the eyebrows just go nuts. So I got a eyebrow trimmer, and you guys are going to see the benefits of that this year on this show. I'm going to have the best groomed. My eyebrows are going to look like my front yard bushes. Just perfect square. I see Central Coast, California, my California people coming in. They're South Jersey, Missouri, Ohio. Dodged a bullet. Good. Alabama's here. Well, welcome. We're just here to celebrate. Oh my gosh, there's a Kauai. We love Kauai. Aloha, my people. Seattle, Maryland reporting in. There's my Seattle people. Indianapolis, Western North Carolina. Yeah, from around the world, our audience is here. And that's because everyone here is to celebrate Christmas and Trump, of course. I have some articles. I should probably just start with one of them, but just to show you what kind of news we're going to be covering. The People's Republic of Maine, Idaho, the Bronx, New York is here, baby. The Bronx people. We are going to talk about Trump's deportations, how the left is already trying to scam that. I don't know if I have a specific article on Gavin Newsom, but they're really trying to reinforce those sanctuary cities so they can protect people, make sure that they have illegals destroying people on train cars in unprecedented numbers there in New York. Insanity in our country. Let's go to, you know what? Let's start with this CBS News one, because this one kind of piqued my interest. Let me do the share screen here. Oh, okay. Welcome to the Doug in Exile show. Give us a thumbs up and a subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Of course, super chats are welcome. That's how we give Angie our Christmas bonus, the beloved Miss TeNapel. But don't worry about that. I think everyone's already blown quite enough money this Christmas, if you know what I mean. Having to buy presents for everyone you know. Oof. Now, what our family does is we get these inexpensive gifts at used bookstores. So I get a stack of books. Let me show you my stack that my family got me this year. We get a stack of books. Each year we get each other a stack of books from a used bookstore. So I'll give you guys a different title every couple minutes on this show. This one's a play by one of my favorite playwrights. This is Tom Stoppard. This is called The Hard Problem. So Tom Stoppard was the screenwriter on Shakespeare in Love, He did Empire of the Sun for Steven Spielberg. He did Brazil for Terry Gilliam. He's one of my favorite writers, okay? Wrote the movie Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead, which is also another one that they got me, is the play Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead by Tom Stoppard. Again, one of my favorite writers, playwrights anyways. There's Michael P., $5 super chat. Merry Christmas from Las Vegas. Well, you really hit the lottery this year, is how we'll put it. Let's do the share screen here. Here's the article on this. All it says, it's just a little preview kind of. Trump team reportedly planning immediate World Health Organization exit. Trump slams Biden's death row commutation. So the World Health Organization thing is the most significant, and it actually affects us here on YouTube the most. Because here on YouTube, they use the World Health Organization to decide who, if you disagree with them, then you get a channel strike about medical issues. So what happens, I want to ask you guys in the chat, what happens if Trump pulls out of the World Health Organization, and especially if we defund it? Does that stop being the standard for YouTube on things health, or do they defer? They're an American company, but do they defer to an international globalist organization like the World Health Organization? Here's just one more paragraph on this. President-elect Donald Trump's transition team is laying the groundwork for the U.S. to exit the World Health Organization on the first day he's in office, according to a new Reuters report. CBS News campaign reporter Taurine Small has more on that. Trump's criticism of President Biden's decision to commute the sentences for 37 inmates on federal death row and more. That's probably the most offensive thing I've ever seen. I can't even describe the acts that some of these people did, but they were murderers, and I mean of kids. They're in jail, and Biden, they're on death row, and Biden stopped it. How's that? How this party, the party's dead. Okay, that's the biggest announcement here. If you guys are just now joining us, Merry Christmas, first of all. We're your online family. We're your virtual family. How's that? We're AI family. How's that? But our love for each other, of course, is real. But how can the Democrat Party is so dead? That's a lot of the news articles that I've been doing. The next 24 hours, you'll see them come up on the show. Democrat Party's done. And it ain't coming back, because this move that Joe Biden did shows what's wrong with their values. They claim to be the pro-woman party. We've heard that now for 20 years. And what they mean is pro-Planned Parenthood. They don't mean pro-woman at all. We also know that Ketanji Brown Jackson, their Supreme Court judge, said that they don't even know what a woman is. She can't even tell you what a woman is because she's not a biologist. She doesn't have the authority to tell you what a woman is. So how can they even claim to be the woman party when they can't tell you what a biological woman is? Okay, we're going to get to more of Joe Biden's criminal commutations, but it makes all of them look ridiculous. Like right now, they're trying to demon hunt Matt Gaetz and go after him. They're trying to release his report. And the things that they've covered up and hidden is outrageous, including commuting the sentences of these murderers, and they've committed the R word. Here's Paul Bartlett, $25 from Australia. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate that so much. So what about you guys? I believe in forgiving, but I don't think the state has an obligation to forgive. And I don't believe that it's compassionate to remove the death sentence on certain people, when the Old Testament anyways says, if someone commits murder by man's hand, you will end their, you'll put them to death. And that's our God, the definition of good and evil. There's no higher definition of good than God is the most moral being ever, because he invented all of us who are downstream from him. So he has authority. Okay, Let's get back to my next article here, which I'm just going through the biggest kind of, I guess, Trumpy news is what I'll call it. Now, Trump, the other news is that Trump is making a serious play to purchase Greenland. It's a true story. We're going to get Greenland, it looks like. He's always joked about it, and now he's very serious about it. So I keep getting texted, and I think my friends are there. It's Quentin Bauer. Quentin, get on the show. Okay. My friend is watching me on YouTube. Now I'm all nervous, Quentin. He's texting me. I'm watching you. Okay. If I make a mistake, you can be my fact checker. How's that? Here's Trump shares Christmas message as Denmark responds to Greenland threats by boosting their defense live. Danish defense minister says country will spend $1.5 billion to ensure a stronger presence in the Arctic. So that's one of the problems they're having is, man, look at all these pop-up windows, goodness. One of the problems they're having is Russia is all throughout that sea, bumping up all their coastal. So if we buy Greenland, that'll make us a player in that area. Donald Trump has posted his traditional rambling Christmas message. Why is it rambling? Why do you have to say that? Independent.co. Rambling Christmas message calling out various foes, taunting adversaries, reiterating his desire for U.S. territorial expansion. Retaking the Panama Canal, that's also correct. That's just tactical. Look, we built it. Incorporating Canada into the Union, now that was a joke. And buying Greenland, now that is not a joke. A Danish official said an announcement that the country is boosting defense spending for Greenland was an irony of fate. Okay, how do I close this ad? Ugh. I'm trying to close that. His name is Troels Lund Poulsen. The Danish defense minister told the paper Jyllands Poster Tuesday that the country plans to spend a double-digit billion amount in krone. Sounds like these are all made-up Muppet names. About 1.5 billion to make sure they have a stronger presence in the Arctic. Trump said the ownership and control of Greenland is an absolute necessity for the U.S., which operates a base in the territory's northwest. After seemingly joking about Canada becoming the 51st state, the incoming president fired off ominous messages alleging the Panama Canal and Greenland pose serious economic and national security threats to the U.S., and might be targeted for some kind of annexation or purchase. I like annexing them. By the way, Panama Canal is being targeted by China to lock up trade in that part of the sea. Okay, meanwhile, now you're going to see a lot of this. House of Representatives is reeling after an ethics committee report into former Congressman Matt Gaetz determined there is substantial evidence, unquote, that he paid tens of thousands of dollars for stuff before Congress, which we know they don't care because Hunter Biden paid for 1 million times more and he got a pardon. So the pardon's going to come back to bite the Democrats on every issue they try and come after a Republican for. We're going to go right back at them on what they pardoned, and they seem to have no problem with it. So we're going to keep reminding them, okay? Look, let me get back to my super chats here because I saw one come through with apologies. This is Al Belzec. This looks like Canada, $13.99. We love you, Doug. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to all of you too. I still pray for President Trump and his family from Alberta, Canada. Look at that. There's Canadian, $13.99. Thank you for the super chat. That is going into the beloved Miss Tenaple's Christmas bonus cookie jar. I like buying nice things for her. Okay, what else is here? Okay, so I already got this Australian super chat. There we go. We'll get back to the news. I got so many articles all lined up. It's insane. The news is still going on even on Christmas. All good stuff. Next article. Now that we've done the annexation of Greenland, you guys tell me down below in the comments below, are you for us annexing Greenland? Who wants Greenland? Who wants Panama Canal? I want both. You guys can keep Canada. I love Canada, but I want it to remain an independent country. I don't think we should take on the Canadian burden. Okay. This one's going to be good. Coming up here, right here. Boom. I'll be smaller so you can read this a little. It's too small. Trump vows to pursue, this is the Associated Press, Trump vows to pursue executions after Biden commutes most of federal death row. So the federal death row, as they're being commuted, Trump is going to execute more criminals. He already said, like anyone of certain kinds of violent crimes, they are going to execute. Fort Lauderdale, Florida. President-elect Donald Trump promised on Tuesday to vigorously pursue capital punishment after Joe Biden commuted the sentences of most people on federal death row, partly to stop Trump from pushing forward on their executions. So now we're using presidential orders to free. That's how bad they want to get Trump, is they're going to free the most monstrous criminals in America on death row. You have to do something very hairy to be on death row. Remember, you've gone through all the appeals. You've been given every chance. It's very rare. Okay. Trump criticized Biden's decision on Monday to change the sentences of 37 of the 40 condemned people to life in prison without parole, arguing it was senseless and insulted the families of their victims. This is another reason why Trump's popularity is soaring and Biden's is failing. Another thing is he changed the sentences, 37 of the 40. What did the 3 do? What did the 3 of 40 do where Biden goes, oh, that's too far. I can't commute your sentence. Other than they're probably white males. Okay. Biden said converting their punishments to life imprisonment was consistent with the moratorium imposed on federal executions in cases other than terrorism and hate-motivated mass murder. Ooh. I guess if you're motivated by love instead of hate, I don't get it, Joe. These people are insane. Joe Biden just commuted the death sentence on 37 of the worst killers in the country, he wrote on social media site. When you hear the acts of each, you won't believe that he did this. Makes no sense. Relatives and friends are further devastated. They can't believe this is happening. I can believe it because these people are so, I can't even put these words on my screen or I'll get in trouble. The question is, does Trump have the authority to reverse this? How does that work? Besides finding another crime on them. That's kind of the Al Caponing of these people. Remember Al Capone? They could never pin him down, so they got him on tax evasion because they could never get him for murder. Or O.J. Simpson, remember how he was found not guilty in California, so they nailed him for stealing his own Heisman Award trophy or whatever, and they ended up giving him a prison sentence. That's kind of one way of doing it. Like if any of these death row people get out and they get caught cheating on their taxes, we might just have to give them the death penalty for it. Let me get to your chat here. Biden didn't do it. The deep state did it. That's true, Pete. There is no Biden. From what I can see, there is no Biden. Ontario, Quebec, Canada, USA. We're going to need a larger envelopes. Yeah, it's true. You know, I actually think Canada would greatly benefit by being a part of America. Right now, when their national anthem, they sing to a throne. the throne of the queen. So why not join us in rebellion from the throne? I don't know. It seems like it could help. Oh no, I don't think so. Will Joe Biden preemptively pardon Diddy? Diddy's going down, as is Jay-Z. It might explain his wife's coming out in support of Kamala Harris. Merry Christmas, Doug from Oklahoma. I love those words, Merry Christmas. I love seeing them in the chat too from all of you. Merry Christmas to all of you. We celebrate the coming of baby Jesus, born on this day 2025 years ago. Okay, my dates are off, but we know that he wasn't born in the winter because the shepherds were with their flocks at night. They were probably in the spring. I don't know. I don't know these things. I don't know dates. It's not important to me there. It's important to me that he was born and that he was God born. Okay? There. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. Look, I'm in Nebraska. There's my Happy Hanukkah people. Christ is King. Merry Christmas, Doug. I too remember Earthworm Jim, and I love your channel. Thank you, Space Cowboy. So for those of you who don't know, I came out of video games. I created a character named Earthworm Jim a long time ago, and it was a huge hit. I was in Saturday morning cartoon animation, video games, and I've done 20 long-form graphic novels. There's a link below if you want to buy my books. They're down in the description. I don't want to push that. I think the commercialization part of Christmas is over now that we're halfway through the day. I think we can stop talking about presents. Okay, we're good. We're celebrating Jesus. Next, let's get to the next article here. How about that? Just I'll keep pumping news out to you guys. This is trivia. This one is Trump campaign won't pay $49,000 in bills for the Grand Rapids, Michigan rallies. Grand Rapids, Michigan. The county of Grand Rapids says Donald Trump for president 2024 campaign has refused to pay more than $50,000 in bills for 2 rallies in the city this year. Well, you're going to save your money in taxes. How's that? I'll throw you a bone. That is forcing the city to write off those expenses as uncollectible and to reevaluate policies for future campaign visits. The unpaid invoices are for 2 rallies that drew thousands into the city. We'll leave a chat below. Do you guys think that he should have to pay the Grand Rapids fine? I think he should. But if you guys think he should just bilk, let's do a walk away from this one. How much does the Democrat Party pay everyone when they were $20 million in the hole last we checked? Grand Rapids billed Trump's campaign nearly $33,000 for his rally in July, the biggest chunks for overtime for police and its public works department, which were all Democrat run, I'll bet, the unions. The bill was due in October and went unpaid. Quote, it's highly unusual to have outstanding bills, especially with someone who clearly had raised enough money from their campaign to pay their bills. Outgoing Grand Rapids Mayor Rosalind Bliss said. Now, do I have to even check on Grand Rapids Mayor Rosalind Bliss to know that that's a Democrat? Again, let me know in the comments below. Do you think this Rosalind Bliss would be saying this about the Kamala Harris campaign if they didn't pay their bills? Just let me know. She's a Democrat. Federal records show that as of late November, Trump's campaign had nearly $10 million cash on hand of the $464 million it raised. That's more cash than the Kamala Harris campaign has, who are in the hole right now. The city of Grand Rapids billed the Trump campaign $16,000. Come on, guys. This amount of money, this is a rounding error for the Trump campaign. That's why I'm saying he should just pay it. Or maybe ask if he can pay it in a form of a donation to like Wounded Warriors or something. How about that? Rosalind is, I won't, you know. Merry Christmas from Ohio. America was saved. Thank you, Jesus. Yeah, we really dodged a bullet on the election day. I'll say that much. Here's some more books I got from my family for Christmas. Again, we buy each other used books all the time. This one, Arthur Miller, Death of a Salesman, is the play, the famous play, Death of a Salesman. Look, the beloved Miss Tenaple also got me 3 yellow legal pads, which I do all my writing, and I do some drawing on them too. So brand new. Is there anything more exciting, guys, than 3 blank legal pads ready to fill out with stories and ideas? I'll even do show ideas on these, for this show, for the In Exile show. By the way, for those of you just joining us, welcome to Doug in Exile. Great to have you here. This is where the happy patriots are. Okay, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. I love using those words. Okay, I'm going to get off that trivial article. That was a bit of a dud. Let's get to a good one here. Now, this is the Wall Street Journal, which is mostly behind a paywall. Let's do this one here. This is kind of another really lame expose. I'm just going to read a couple of lines. Wall Street Journal. The big companies funding Trump's inauguration, despite denouncing January 6th. So can you guys see this angle already? Companies are by the way, lots of companies are spending millions of dollars on Trump's inauguration. And I mean, even pharmaceutical companies, okay? So everyone knows they've got to pay into this thing. Well, now the Wall Street Journal, which is allegedly a business newspaper regarding Wall Street, is giving them heat for claiming to denounce January 6th, yet they're funding Trump's new inauguration. They're trying to hold him to the last inauguration. The second Trump inaugural fund is on track to be the most lucrative yet. So how's that working for you guys? 4 years ago, dozens of companies denounced the invasion of the U.S. Capitol and pledged to withhold support from those who disputed the 2020 election results. Now, many of those companies are lining up to fund Trump's inaugural. What do you know? They care about profits. Excuse me. This is by Rebecca Ballhaus, not Bauhaus, Ballhaus. I could follow her, but no thank you. Dana Matoli, I can follow him, but no thank you. Shalini Ramachandran. Shalini Ramachandran. That's one of those names that if you say it out loud, furniture will start to float around the room. Oh, it lifts off the ground. Shalini Ramachandran. And Maggie Severance. It took 4 people to write one article at the Wall Street Journal. No wonder why. Goodness. No wonder. You guys need to be out of business right now. Let's see here. Oh, look, you guys are saying Merry Christmas to each other from Hawaii, from the big island of Hawaii. Ooh. Man, I could use some Hawaii right now. Get out in that water. It's been a long time, maybe 20 years, probably longer than that. 20 years. I think I went 20 years ago. Let me see what else we have here. We're getting to the good stuff here. All right, come on. There's the New York Times. Trump's plans to scrap climate policies have unnerved green energy investors. Gang, if you're not celebrating the great news, do you know how much money of your taxes and my freedom would have been by government caveat converted into Green New Deal money losses for all of us without helping the environment at all if Trump lost this election? If Kamala won, we would be in big doo-doo right now. So now Trump is scrapping all of the Green New Deal And so now the green energy investors, guess what they're doing? They're pulling their money out of green business going, it's not the future. There's no profit. We can't get the government to pay for everything because before, if you're Solyndra or a windmill company or whatever, you'd have these government contracts and you know they were going to pay into it. So you go, oh, I'll throw all my money into green energy because it doesn't have to be efficient. It doesn't have to be profitable. It's just a giant, weird science welfare program. So of course, there's no downside to it. The market's not going to adjust it down. You're just going to get more government contracts. You could do, I would like to maybe do wind and solar driven internet connection for rural people so they never have to build any of them. You just promise that it's all windmills and cow farts and then never build anything and they'll pay for it. That's how green energy works. It's a religion, remember, not a business. There's a Hey Doug from Kinsman, Ohio. I spent 3 years in federal government contracting, and I can promise you that you don't hate the government enough. There you go. I'm with you on the inefficiency. It is so disrespectful to waste the taxpayers' money. Okay, this might just be my favorite article right here. This is from NBC News. Let's go to this one here. Immigrants prepare action plans after Trump says he will allow ICE to act in schools, churches, and hospitals. Yes, you cannot hide in schools, churches, and hospitals. That's only fair. These people are illegal. Can I cheat on my taxes and go hide in a church? I want to ask the Biden government. Can I cheat on my taxes and hide in a school or a hospital? Of course not. They'd come and bust my door down, point a gun at my snout. Immigrants' rights advocates are helping vulnerable families that's illegal families, not vulnerable families, prepare plans of action in case of an undocumented relative is suddenly detained or deported. I just want to know, why is that relative being detained or deported? And by the way, I have huge compassion for not breaking families up. But look, you guys, we didn't do this. Trump didn't do this to you. You did this to yourself, I hate to say. Here's, let's see. Immigrant families are spending the holidays having difficult conversations in anticipation. Now, how in the world does NBC News know that immigrant families, don't you mean illegal immigrant families? They're not just immigrant families that immigrate to the U.S. are having a good time. You hit the jackpot. You're here in America. Welcome, immigrant. Oh, it's illegal immigrant families. Illegal immigrant families are spending the holidays having difficult conversations in anticipation. Because you know what? If I cheated on my taxes for $4 million and all of my family were all tax cheats, like did not pay our taxes, we'd have difficult conversations if the next administration came in and said, we're going to fix all the people that broke the law doing their taxes. You're going to be in trouble. We would all gather and have a very difficult time. Okay, not people who legally paid their taxes. That's what saying immigrant families is like. It's like saying people who pay their taxes are going to have a difficult time with the IRS. No. Legal people are not going to have a problem with it. Donald Trump's doing what's called the largest deportation program in American history once he's sworn in next month. A lot of us are honestly celebrating Christmas together thinking, oh my God, is this the last time we get to spend Christmas with our family members? Said Philippe Souza Lazaballet, who leads the Hope Community Center. This whole quote, that's a giant lie. Okay, this is hypothetical and NBC News is passing it on. This guy made a hypothetical conversation. Oh my God, is this the last time we get to spend Christmas together with our family members? That's a made-up conversation. Who leads the Hope Community Center, a nonprofit organization outside of Orlando, Florida. By the way, legal Cubans, come on over. that advocates for immigrants and other underserved communities like felons. This is really heart-wrenching, he says. Well, it's not heart-wrenching yet. Let's find out who's split up from who before we wrench all of our hearts. Because I don't see this Hope Community Center having their heart wrenched. You guys heard about this already. I don't see this community center having their heart wrenched about illegal immigrants that came here, as in 300,000 children who came here and got lost in the system, handed over to people that were not their parents, that did not provide an ID, and are now in the largest criminal underground child ring that we've had in American history. I don't see you losing any sleep, and your heart's not wrenching for them. You experience one night of their pain, and we'll find out what your heart is made of. Amen, people? You guys getting my drift out there? You understand? This is a fake tears article. To deliver on Trump's promise to deport more than 11 million undocumented migrants, the incoming administration intends to roll back policies that restrict immigration, illegal immigration, enforcement actions in sensitive places like schools, churches, and hospitals, as well as their respective surrounding areas, NBC News reported. There's no way they can deport millions of people if they don't go for the low-hanging fruit, and this is it. Suzel Isbalit said. How about what if the low-hanging, I got another proposal. What if the low-hanging fruit is in the trafficking rings? Can we call that low-hanging fruit? What about the child labor camps, the ones that are in meat packing facilities working a midnight shift? Can we call that low-hanging fruit? What if we take care of those? And the criminals, the ones that are setting people on fire on the train. Is that low-hanging fruit? See, these people, they're still, this is what I love. I'm going to click out of the news for just a second. This is what I love. I love how the Democrats, okay, they lied promoting just one side in media. They got completely destroyed in an election. They got completely demolished in an election. And they learned nothing. Democrat Party is dead. Anna Kasparian is saying on the Young Turks, old fundraisers, Doug Schoen, advisors for the Clintons are saying the Democrat Party is dead because they cannot learn from their loss against Trump. They're not changing one position. They're not understanding why they lost. And this is exactly the same thing that NBC News is doing right here, is why they're going to continue to lose everything. And I'm thrilled. I don't want leftists in charge of my country. They mass destroy people around the world. You don't want them anywhere near power because they steal all your freedoms, give it to green energy that didn't earn it. It doesn't change the Earth's temperature at all. They just destroy traditional business. They open up your borders, widespread crime in every major city in America because of who they're moving around to what city. They were about to punish farmers and stores for price gouging when their margins are smaller, profit margins are smaller than ever. They were about to go and destroy farmers and stores if Kamala won. Thank you, Lord. All I want for Christmas is a President Trump, and I got it. I got my Christmas present. This channel, Doug in Exile, is very happy. How many of you, give us a thumbs up if you've been in Doug in Exile from the very first channel. Give us a thumbs up. We need some thumbs up. We got to bury the needle on these thumbs ups. Trump should pay the bill. Sure. After he has a line-by-line breakdown of the charges. There you go. That would be fair. And publicize them, right? Let's get back to the article. This is the tearjerker article. NBC News spoke with nearly half a dozen immigrants' rights advocates across 4 states, and they all said they have received an increased number of calls from immigrants asking about their rights. Immigrants having rights. What about our rights to a border? What about our rights? What about our rights to equal protection? Like, you don't have to have a license to come into the country, but if I'm flying in from France or Europe or Canada and I fly in here and I have to show my license to prove my citizenship or a passport, what about equal protection? What about my rights? So you're worried about your rights. What rights do I get? Oh, it's the rights of whatever Democrat chooses to follow. To them, the laws are all optional. They only follow them when it damages a political opponent. When it helps someone else, they'll break the law or remove it, and they won't enforce it. That's how this works. Okay. There's my thumbs up. Thank you, guys. I see your thumbs up out there. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Give us a little thumbs up. It helps push this show out to other subscribers. We'll start to see it show up in their feed. So thanks for clicking in. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Doug's statement about the Christmas gift of President Donald Trump, not just to America, but to the world. Let's get back to this. They have all heard questions from community groups, they being illegal immigrants, schools, and churches about their roles are in the face of such possibilities. In response, the advocates and groups are conducting Know Your Rights training and helping vulnerable families prepare plans of action in case an undocumented relative is suddenly detained or deported. I would say, help set up email communication so you can talk to them in their home country for which they're a legal resident. We have no problem with communication. After they're deported, they could also get on some kind of an immigration list. They have to go stand in line, but after the other legal immigrants come over, maybe you'd get to come back in. Okay, so that's the illegal immigration drama that is going to escalate as Trump gets closer and closer to. But the bigger thing is Homan and Trump and all of our people involved with the border, they're going after the bad guys first. So now the mainstream media, they will not talk about any bad guy that gets deported. And I don't care how bad he is, they won't cover it. They're only going to show you any family. In fact, if it's a bad guy, they'll say, he was a priest in his community, or whatever. And suddenly he's being deported. They're going, Trump is tearing up families. That's all you're going to hear for the next year. It's not going to work because the American people already know there's a tough decision to be made, and it's going to have to be made. And you have to man up and make it. Trump has to man up and make it. Okay, here's CNN. Here's CNN. This one's kind of funny because it involves us taking back the Panama Canal, which I'm all for. If you guys are for that, we are going to take that thing back. We want the Panama Canal back. We paid for it, we built it, and we want it back. Thank you. Okay. That will never happen. Locals react to Trump suggesting U.S. retake Panama Canal. Well, I got news for you guys. President-elect Donald Trump said the U.S. should consider retaking the Panama Canal. Hear how the Panamanian people and the country's president reacted to Trump's threats. I don't care how you guys react. I already know you have to pretend like you don't want it. Look, all we have to do is tariff everything that goes through the Panama Canal and we'll bankrupt them. Yeah, there you go. Trump's not breaking up families. They're going back as family. They're going to unite on their way out. Trump Christmas, God is good. I agree. Okay. And now I think we're getting up to our last two articles here. These are so bad, guys. The Democrats, they're absolutely doing the same thing over and over again with their media garbage. Look at this one. Okay, this says, bad things can happen. How will the world adjust to the Trump presidency? Before he has taken a single executive decision, Countries around the world are positioning themselves for his impact. What exactly is his impact going to be? Was Trump's impact worse than what happened to the Afghanis when Biden pulled out? Is it worse than what happened to Israel on October 7th due to Biden's weakness? Is it worse than a near world war breaking out in Ukraine when Russia invaded them? How come Ukraine didn't say that when Trump lost and Biden won, that they were going to brace for impact of Biden getting into office because Putin was going to invade their country? See, these people, they don't care. A revisionist state has arrived on the scene to contest the liberal international order, whatever that is. I'm at war with that. How about you guys? The liberal international order, and it is not Russia or China, it's the United States. It's the Trump in the Oval Office, the beating heart of the world. The incoming administration contests every element of the liberal international order. What is the LIO, liberal international order? Is that where adrenochrome comes from? Trade, alliance, migration, multiculturalism, democracy, solidarity, and human rights. This is so screwed up. I can't even, this is like written by Democrat headquarters. Quote, the narrative now at home and abroad is that the U.S. is not what we thought it was. Thank the Lord. We're not suckers and idiots anymore. That's what they thought we were. Trump was not an aberration, not a bug, but a feature of the American politics, of the American story, baby. This is a great win. He thinks he's insulting us, guys. This is like the best news I've ever heard. Trump's not a bug. He's a feature of who we all are. Wow, I'm so glad they see it. This stark assessment of the impact of Donald Trump's return to the White House in January by the Princeton University professor of politics, John Eikenberry. John, come on my show. You can tell us more about how great we are reflective of Trump's values. Leads him to the question, quote, will the new global order, what the hell, global order? Will the new global order be determined less by the U.S. and more by its legacy partners? Will they seek an alternative framework globally and regionally? Or will they make bets to ride this out and do the transactional politics that Trump is going to request? That's so weird. Why don't they think that the next administration would be transactional? They're just used to doormatting us. That is, we give them something, they give us nothing. Here you go. Hazy Train says, I will generously move to Greenland and buy property. I so hope he makes a deal. Yeah, I'd love to get me some Greenland. Get us some beachfront, guys. And then I have one last article here. Oh, okay. I'm just going to read the headline, okay? I'll just show you guys the headline here. Merry Christmas, everyone, by the way. Merry Christmas. Trump and Biden offer Christmas greetings as U.S. approaches transfer of power. Biden acknowledged that this would be his last time as president to wish the nation a Merry Christmas. Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you, Joe. It's his last time to say Merry Christmas. Now, you guys can tell me in the chat below, do you think Joe Biden is even realizing this? Did he say that, or did someone else say it for him and release that statement? This is my last Christmas with you. I don't want to be morbid, but this is probably Joe Biden's last Christmas, period. Okay, that was terrible to say. Merry Christmas, everyone. Let's look. Here's more of my books my family got me. I told you that we get each other used books for Christmas. Here's the Ragamuffin Gospel by Brennan Manning. I'm kind of iffy on this. Yeah, to Naples, Secretary of Art. There you go. Now you're talking. Look at that right there, Dr. Insomnia. Can I be the Secretary of Art? I know that if I was going to be the head of the National Endowment of the Arts, I would paint Trump's portrait on the moon in gold so you could see it from Earth. Trump, listen to me. National Endowment of the Arts right here. We will send Elon, send a rocket to the moon, put a bunch of artists up there in spacesuits. If we actually can't get to the moon, we'll have Kubrick film a fake. I'm just kidding. Okay. Here's, this is French, okay? So it's like Penze or Penzes or whatever by Blaise Pascal, great philosopher. That is not his, we're used to his math philosophy, but in that case, it's on beauty and stuff like that. Here's Tom Stoppard, another one by my favorite playwright, Arcadia. Just some pleasure reading. This one is my son, Ed Tenaple, named after my dad, got me this one. Confronting Christianity. These are the 12 difficult questions for Christianity. It's an apologetics book. I like it. I like this. I like apologetics books. I read them all the time. Oh, this is my best treasure right here. The beloved Miss Tenaple got me this one. C.S. Lewis, Spirits in Bondage, a cycle of lyrics. Now, these are all poems by C.S. Lewis. I did not know this book exists. And I'm very interested in C.S. Lewis poetry. So, though I did not, now most of these I knew existed, but that one I had no idea. Here's my other favorite playwright. This is 6 Characters in Search of an Author and Other Plays by Pirandello. These were funky, cool, old school plays. And then this is a Live in Hope hardbound journal book, because I like journals also because I can draw and write in them. So my son John got me this little journal book that I can fill out with my own little writings. That's basically my Christmas stack. That and some sardines in the stocking, which you guys saw if you watched this morning's video. And you know that already. Well, is there any other Christmas greeting I can give you guys? I pray for you guys. I thank you for watching. I pray that the Lord bless you, that the Lord bless this country. I pray that he keep you. If you're alone, know that you're not alone with God, that it's a good time for you to worship him, for you to repent before the Son, baby Jesus. Remember, he grows up and lots of stuff happens to him, like resurrecting from the dead. But he had humble beginnings. That's kind of what it's about, is that God doesn't come in packages that we often expect. And it's kind of like what's happened with this country. And the future is unknown. And we're going to go through all kinds of stuff together in exile. Look, there's Jeff B., $2 super chat. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you too. That goes into the beloved Miss Tenaple Bonus Center. If any of you ever got a communication from this channel on YouTube, usually it's the beloved Miss Tenaple helping me answer your questions and stuff like that. Happy birthday, Jesus. There you go. Thank you, Dr. Insomnia. We agree. Merry Christmas to the entire Tenaple family. We appreciate that too. Today I've come to party. Yeah. Drinking with my girls. Hey. Drinking with my boys. Hey. And on that happy note, guys, I guess I don't like celebrating America when things are going so well, because then it looks like I'm a fair weather friend. Like I'm only a patriot, like I'm only for my team when we're winning. And while no one likes to lose, I'd like to think that I'd have steel courage, even if Kamala won and Trump lost. Even if terrible things happen in the future, guys, we have to hold on to our principles, because you don't want to just be a fair weather friend to each other, to your country, to your family. You don't just commit to do the right thing when things are going your way. Now, things happen to be going our way. It's a beautiful day out here in Tennessee. Beautiful. But I hope I'd have the will, the backbone, the cojones to stay with it, even if things were going against me. One day they will go against us, guys, and we'll be thankful for these days. It'd be terrible if we weren't thankful for them now and happy and having fun with them now, because one day this stuff could get taken away from you. Here's Pete with a $5 super chat. Merry Christmas, and God bless those that aren't having a Merry Christmas. That is true. My heart goes out to anyone who's suffering, especially physically, emotionally, incredible loneliness. There's families that are disaster, right? Everyone, there's a saying out there that says every mom is only as happy as her least happy child. So I know that there's siblings and children and grandchildren and parents where everything's falling apart. It's terrible news. And to that end, I don't want to just say, oh, golly gee, everything's fine. I get it, that life can be hard. And every time I eat a meal, I think of those who are hungry, who can't afford a meal. Every time I have my loving family around me, I think about people who can't have a loving family around them. So that's part of why I'm here, to be here for you. I want to be here with you when we're having good times and bad times. We're going to be here together in exile. I'm Doug TeNapel. I can't thank you guys enough for showing up here on Christmas Day. Merry Christmas. We have so much to be thankful for and celebrate that there's good in the world, that God came into a terrible poison world, sent his son, died, we killed him, he resurrected, we accept him, and now we're building up treasures in heaven, even when sometimes earth doesn't go so well. But this year, the election sure went pretty well. I'm Doug in exile.